After decades in law enforcement, I know the importance of safety and security, especially at our border.
Trump or Kamala, what do you think? Trump or Kamala Harris?
Oh, God, it's Kamala, definitely.
Yes?
1,000%. Yeah, absolutely.
What's your favorite thing Kamala's done in the last 4 years?
Honestly?
Yeah.
Actually, don't use this.
Oh, Kamala.
Kamala Harris.
Yeah, Kamala.
Kamala, why?
Well, she's honestly, I don't know.
Okay,
She
well,
does a lot more.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not super knowledgeable, so I can't really speak too much on it.
Because Trump sucks ass.
Yeah, pretty much same thing.
I've been doing my research lately, so I ain't 100% yet, so I can't answer that yet.
That's a no-brainer.
All right.
She's a woman. She's a woman.
Yes. How's it been selling? How's it been selling? Good?
I don't know. We just had a bunch of police that told us to burn our shirts.
Now, we can't say that every Trump supporter knows or even remembers what he did during his term, but it's alarming to see and hear people who are all behind Harris and yet are completely unaware of what she's been doing these last 4 years. However, some of Donald Trump's own colleagues are saying that there's no place in the White House for him and that voting for him would be the worst case scenario for the United States. And guys, before we get started, just want to thank y'all so much for being here. Thank you for clicking the like button, subscribing to the channel, and for sharing this video. Let's get started. But here we have Donald Trump in Atlanta, and what you're about to witness, guys, is a black woman stand up on stage with side by side with Donald Trump. And what she does here, ladies and gentlemen, is absolutely remarkable. And at the end of it, she leaves the crowd on their feet in a standing ovation. By the way, guys, thank you guys so much for always hitting the like button. Thank you for subscribing to the channel, and thank you for sharing these videos on Facebook and Twitter.
I brought him up because I thought he was going to give it to me. He didn't give it. He just got me to sign it. I got nothing out of that. Hey, Michaela, I know you spoke. Just come up for a second. Come on. This young woman, I walked into, I don't know what the hell restaurant it was, but I walked into this restaurant.
Was it Chick-fil-A?
And we do it very quietly. We don't announce it. That's for, security reasons, everything. I walked in. She's behind the counter, and she didn't know I was coming. And she goes, "It's President Trump." She looks at me, "It's President Trump. You saved my college." And I said, "How the hell do you know that?" She said, "You are, this one is so smart, so sharp." She grabbed me. She gave me a kiss. I said, "I think I'm never going back home to the First Lady."
You're supposed to keep that quiet.
See, now, for the average politician, that's death. For me, I don't care. I just want to tell you, you are an unbelievable person with a great personality. You lit up the whole room. You lit up the whole room. I said...
Trump keeping it real.
Weeks later, I'd go, who is that person that was so incredible? She knew everything about me. She had no idea I was coming. She knew everything about me. And the historically black colleges and universities, I gave millions and millions, billions of dollars to. They kept coming back, and I said, "Why are you doing this?" And we gave them long-term funding. And she knew that because she said her college, she loved her college. She said it was so great, right? You loved it.
The illustrious CAU.
Yeah, that's right. She loved her college, and she said, "You saved my college." What was your college? Tell them.
The illustrious Clark Atlanta University.
The illustrious.
And it was so impressive, and I felt so good because she really did. She really said, I said, "Did you like the college?" She said, "No, I loved that school. I loved that college." And that's what it's all about. But you are an incredible person. I think you have a tremendous future. I really do. And I'll do whatever I can to help you. Okay? Thank you, Dad. Thank you very much. Great job. You want to say something else?
Man, I thought I was done.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I thought Donald Trump was racist. I mean, what's going on? I'm not seeing the racist behavior that a lot of people were saying that was, typical of Donald Trump.
Thank you very much. Great job. You want to say something else?
Man, I thought I was done. But I do want to add on to some of the remarks that were made by others, and we do need to do our best to get the message out there. The fight is nothing if all we do is talk about it amongst ourselves. So with that being said, since you said you'd help me, shameless plug, if y'all need anybody to knock doors, make phone calls, wave signs, get people out to the polls. Call me at Conserve the Culture. Because not only do I mobilize the HBCU students so that they may get this message, but I'm the best person when it comes to black engagement in the black community. And nobody needs this message more than my folks. So do y'all care for real? Are y'all with us for real?
She leveraged the opportunity. Trump.
ConserveTheCulture.com for any and all inquiries. Y'all can follow me at Miss Kayla, baby. I'm going to give it back to Big T.
What? Big T. Now, I got to hand it to her because a lot of people, when they have an opportunity like this, would not be ready. I'm sorry. A lot of people just wouldn't be ready. She had everything ready to go to capitalize on this remarkable opportunity. I mean, she's in front of millions of people, not only just the crowd here, but across the United States and likely even the world. When Donald Trump gets on stage to speak at any of his rallies, they get millions of views. So this is an unprecedented level of eyeballs and attention to her business, to her cause, and for awareness. So big shout out to Michaela here.
Last thing, make sure you guys tune in to my podcast dropping soon on the Patriots Prayer Network. Thank you all.
Wow. The fact, I mean, she's very articulate, pretty girl. She was ready to go. And the fact that she had so many different things going, she got her podcast shouted out to millions of people for free. She got to hang out with Donald Trump. She's basically essentially got Donald Trump's endorsement. This is a black woman that I think is definitely a superstar in the making. And this is probably someone that I think that Donald Trump should consider, an opportunity within his cabinet or to utilize her abilities, her capabilities in some capacity. She does have the podcast. She did indicate that she's got the ability to reach out to the black community. And this is what Trump needs right now in terms of, granted, Trump's popularity is definitely high. It's been higher than it has been in a very, very long time. But having the grassroots, boots on the ground connections like Michaela clearly has definitely could help Trump tremendously. Especially in the state of Georgia. This is Atlanta, Georgia that this Trump rally is taking place in. This is the same Georgia, Atlanta, where Kamala Harris was just a couple of days ago. So it's time to turn the tide.
She's great. Trump, you saved my college. And I said, how the hell do you know that? She said, you are. So, this one is so smart, so sharp. She grabbed me. She gave me a kiss. I said, I think I'm never going back home to the First Lady.
Great. And when it comes to getting off the Democratic plantation, that's a real thing. And I don't know why somebody would feel like I, myself, would be offended by that.
Donald Trump is about to break the internet again.
If everybody thinks the same, has been fear-mongered into thinking the same way, living the same way, then yes, that's a plantation. Because how in the world were so many slaves who outnumbered their slave masters continuing to be slaves? It happened because they were fearful of doing something different.
For a rally.
Thanks to Kamala Harris's tie-breaking vote here in Atlanta, you suffered the highest inflation of any city in the country last year. Good job, Governor. Great job, Governor.
So when we say that Democrats are on this Democratic plantation, specifically talking about black people, it's because, yes, you guys are all blindly following a leader and you're scared to do something different. Additionally, to think that somebody like myself, who can clearly articulate their points, their opinions, their life experience that have led them to support certain candidates, it's very interesting that somebody would demean C-SPAN for having a guest like me on TV. There's plenty of people who think, act, and wish that a voice like mine had a bigger platform. So it's unfortunate that people like that feel like we should be silenced.
All right, let's talk to Ladley in Marietta, Georgia. Democrat, good morning.
Yes, I did not know that you knew Candace Owens. Because she's pretty much been outcasted by the right because of her stances on Israel. But anyway, you will have a good job at Fox News at some point. I guarantee you that. And the things you point out of the Democrats, their failures, you're absolutely right on some of the things. The Democrats fall short, but at least we try. The Republican policies are just just the complete opposite, okay? The last thing I want to say is they're never going to let you in the club, okay? And you're like the movie Django, you are the character of Samuel L. Jackson. I don't know the exact, terminology, but, not Uncle Tom, but, Uncle Tommy, or, you're a complete sellout.
All right, and we'll go to Robert in...
Oh, I can't respond to that?
Oh, yes, you can.
Thank you very much. Because first of all, it sounded like that was a non-black person telling me that. So as a Democrat, that sounds pretty racial and pretty divisive. Next, it's very interesting that I, again, would be called names or be compared to fictional characters because of who I choose to support. Again, these people who are calling and making these derogatory statements about me, who I choose to support, are denying the fact that, again, who are you to tell me that my personal experience is invalid? I think that that's something that a lot of Democrats need to look within, because how have you tried? Kamala Harris is in office right now and has not tried to do anything about the border, has not tried to not tax people on tips, and has not tried to do anything about our failing education system. So everything that she's promising she can do for you on day one, she could do right now, but she's not trying to. So that's something to, for some Dems to take home.
Robert in Aurora, Indiana, Republican, good morning.
Yes, sweetheart. Miss Montgomery, I commend you, sweetheart. You are telling the truth. I want to tell you a little bit about me. I'm 87 years old. I went for my physical. I didn't pass, but my dad served World War II. My uncle fought the Battle of Bulge. Back when I was a kid, we had black people working for us. There is colors, black, white, red, you name it, yellow. They ate at our table. They didn't have to go out in a barn or a shed or sit on the porch to eat. They ate with the family. And anybody that wants to do anything for their life, work for it. Work for it. There's jobs out here. They want to put Trump down, and he's worked his. Who would take a shot for this country? Who would take a shot for this country? And he wasn't in the military, no. But he did take a shot for this country, and it almost killed him. And you idiots out there that can't see that this man wants to do right for this country. He loves his country. He loves the people.
All right.
Vote for him.
All right, Robert. Go ahead, Kayla.
I wholeheartedly agree with the sentiment that if you want something, you have to work for it. Again, I moved out to Atlanta 10 years ago with 2 suitcases and $1,500. Not an idea what I was going to do. No family. No, I don't have parents that went to college. I was literally on my own and I had to figure it out. I worked 3 jobs to get through college. Then I got pregnant. So unfortunately, I did not finish. But then I was like, wow, instead of sitting here and waiting on government assistance to come and help me take care of me and my kid, what can I do to therefore uplift us and make it so that I have the freedom to raise my child and not worry about money? And that's, of course, when I invested all of my time into Conserve the Culture and grew it into a business that allowed me to take care of my daughter. So I can't go for the complaints. I can't go for the excuses. I can't go for the woe is me. I wholeheartedly agree that if you want something bad enough, you are going to work your ass off to get it.
Aaron, independent in Upper Marlboro, Maryland.
Harris is a radical trans activist, and she is the candidate of letting men beat up women in the name of tolerance. But you look at what's happening over in Paris, it will never happen here. I will never let it happen.
You have a female nominee for president of the United States, of the free world, and this is one of the biggest gender controversies of the year in the Olympics. And Kamala Harris hasn't said anything, and she hasn't even been asked about it. And that's a cover-up. And that's a real shame. Cricket.
Just days after Kamala Harris's rally in Atlanta with the very famous Meg Thee Stallion, Quavo, and a number of other rappers.
Thank you. That's a great person, great woman. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We are going to rebuild our cities into beacons of hope, safety, and beauty better than they have ever been before. We will take over the horribly run capital of our nation in Washington, D.C., and clean it up, renovate it, rebuild our capital city so there's no longer a nightmare of murder and crime. We're going to stop the murder and crime. You go down from your state, you end up getting mugged, murdered in our capital. It'll be run tough and strong by our great police officers, but rather We will become the most beautiful capital anywhere in the world. I could say again, but it's been so badly run for so long, I almost don't want to say again. On day one, I will sign a new executive order to cut federal funding for any school pushing critical race theory, transgender insanity, and other inappropriate racial, sexual, or political content onto the shoulders of our children.
Get it out of
And
there.
I will not give one penny to any school that has a vaccine mandate or a mask mandate. And I will keep men out of women's sports, if that's okay. If Kamala Harris gets in, the travesty that is taking place at the Paris Olympics will come to America when we host the Los Angeles Olympics. And by the way, which I was president, we happened to get it. I was the president. I also got you a thing called the World Cup, which is coming very soon.
Wow.
From the moment we take back the White House from Kamala and Crooked Joe, and he's crooked as a $4 bill, I believe we're going to have the 4 greatest years in the history of our country. Starting on day one, we will end inflation and make America affordable again. We're going to make it affordable again. Thanks to Kamala Harris's tie-breaking vote here in Atlanta, you suffered the highest inflation of any city in the country last year. Good job, Governor. Great job, Governor. Under Kamala, the typical Georgia family has lost $28,000 in inflation and to inflation hikes. To bring down the prices of all goods, we will stop the Biden-Harris war on American energy. American energy is such a big deal. We will drill, baby, drill. We'll get that number down. We'll bring energy prices down. Everything else will float with it.
Let's get those gas prices down.
The Green New Scam, and I will end the Biden-Harris electric vehicle mandate right on day one. It will be ended. We will pass massive tax cuts for workers, and that includes no tax on tips, Michaela.
Ooh. No taxes on tips. Ladies and gentlemen, this is huge.
To further protect Georgia workers, I will revoke China's most favored nation's trade status. I will pass the Trump Reciprocal Trade Act. If China or any other country makes us pay a 100 or 200% tariff, we will make them pay a reciprocal tariff of 100 or 200% right back. You heard us, we heard you. It's an eye for an eye.
Wow.
Taking a fortune, and they'll stop doing it before I even arrive at the Oval Office shortly after we win the presidency. I will have the horrible war between Russia and Ukraine settled, and I will prevent, and I'm the only one that's going to do it,
he called it.
100% will prevent World War III, which is very close to happening. I will restore peace through strength, and in my next term, we will build a great Iron Dome missile defense shield over our country, a dome like none other, like nobody has ever seen before, and it will all be made in the USA, and much of it will be made in the great state of Georgia.
Wow.
And I will not cut 1 cent from Social Security or Medicare. I kept that promise 4 years ago, and I will keep it again. And seniors will not pay taxes on Social Security.
Wow. A lot of people were asking about Donald Trump's stance on Social Security. They were trying to eat him up about his policies. He's talking policies. He's talking Social Security. You know, we've heard from the liberals, from the Democrats. They were saying Donald Trump was going to be cutting Social Security, this, that, and the other. I think Trump pretty much cleared the air just now on Social Security and taxes paid by seniors on their Social Security checks.
I might as well say it myself because nobody else will say it. But I got them both, and you're going to have a lot of fun with it, I hope. Harris is a radical trans activist, and she is the candidate of letting men beat up women in the name of tolerance. But you look at what's happening over in Paris, it will never happen here. I will never let it happen. I will get all males off your daughter's soccer teams and volleyball teams and get them out of your locker rooms once and for all. That's going to be cleaned up, and we will fight to make sure that the LA Olympics protects women and protects girls.
By the way, guys, thank you guys so much for always hitting the like button. Thank you for subscribing to the channel, and thank you for sharing these videos.
Really consider what is this fight really about? Why is it such entrenched? I know we hear a lot about religious liberty, and quite honestly, I grew up in Christian education all through college. I don't remember any of my doctrinal classes mentioning only male and female, and that's the way it should be. If you feel it is, awesome.
Why are y'all voting for Kamala Harris?
I don't want to lose my rights. Like, I'm a trans man and I'm gay and I have been pregnant and I've had an abortion before and I don't want to lose that.
Wait a second. Okay, hold on, guys. I'm lost. Did he say he's a trans man and they're gay and they've been pregnant but had an abortion? Hold on.
If it keeps on going.
I think it's absolutely ridiculous that you guys are even considering letting bathrooms and locker rooms being co-ed. I don't care how they identify or whatever kind of delusion people live in, whatever kind of mental disease that they have. Boys are boys and girls are girls. It's simple and basic. It's always been that way. And that's why we have separate bathrooms. I'm not going to allow my girls or my boys to shower with the opposite sex because I don't want them.
What? Are you kidding me?
Fondled or tainted by one of these deranged people sexually. And that's what lingers in these groups of homosexuality and transgenderism is sexually explicit ideology.
What in the world are they trying to do, guys? They want boys and girls to be showering together and using the bathroom together? Just co-ed? No more men's and women's bathrooms, just come one, come all? Let me know your thoughts, guys.
My daughter goes to Franklin. She brought home books about how it's okay that two parents are gay in a household and it's okay for boys to be girls and girls to be boys. What kind of delusion are you guys living in? Are people really retarded? We're still having these talks? Like, what is going on here? Like,
we don't use that word.
No, it's a word. I can use that if I want. Yes, I can. And I can't believe people are so open-minded. Their brains have literally fell out. Does nobody know why?
What are people thinking nowadays, guys? What's going on here? Is this guy wrong? Is he right?
We had opposite sport teams and opposite bathrooms for boys and girls to protect both sexes from one another. If they want to play some delusional game, we have to allow it. Then they should have their own bathroom and their own support, their own sports. It's as simple as that. You know, they shouldn't be allowed to women to come and shower in the boys' locker room. I don't want one of these sucky.
Please, guys, let me know. Is it okay for women to shower with men, or is it okay for women to, change clothes in men's locker rooms and men change clothes in women's locker rooms? I'm wondering, does anyone think that this guy is off base? Do you agree with this guy? Do you disagree?
Women to come and shower in the boys' locker room. I don't want one of these succubuses coming in there spoiling my young gentleman.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. We crossed the line.
It's a word. I can use it if I want. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I can.
No,
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, or what? Yeah. So yeah, either way, I think you guys all must have some type of mental disease, even considering this kind of thing.
Sir.
You know, I don't understand what's going on with you guys. That we're even considering this. You guys need to
Wow.
No, absolutely not.
But you know what, guys? We now have to hear from the other side. We've heard this guy here. This man clearly had enough of this nonsense. I've had enough too. But let's hear from the other side.
You say you care about students, but half of you are not sure what gender is, especially transgender. I know the lawyer said.
I know what gender is. Doesn't everybody know what gender is? Wait, I don't know if this guy knows.
Transsexual earlier, that's not the correct term. It's transgender. I'm a transgender woman. My pronouns are she, her.
Oh, that's a woman.
I will only accept those pronouns. I will not be addressed any other way.
Okay.
And in the workspace, I'm protected by that.
Now, I'm just trying to understand, what is this on the desk here? I can't tell, what is that? Is that like a cane or something?
Students should be too, especially when they're not over 18, don't have a voice. So I'm just imploring you to go beyond what, just really consider, what is this fight really about? Why is it such entrenched? I know we hear a lot about religious liberty, and quite honestly, I grew up in Christian education all through college. I don't remember any of my doctrinal classes mentioning only male and female, and that's the way it should be. If you feel it is, awesome, good. You get to believe that. You don't get to impose those beliefs on anybody else. And that's actually. But
that's the way it is. Wait, is this a satchel? This crossbody piece? I feel like Drake sang a song about a crossbody piece, but I don't think he was singing about this type. Or maybe it's a book bag. Are they in school? Oshkosh Area Board of Education, agenda-related public forum. Guys, this is what Tim Walz and Kamala Harris want. They don't want to have people. They don't want your kids, your sons, your daughters to have to be burdened by what was, such as boys and girls bathrooms or men and women's bathrooms. How about just bathrooms? Come one, come all. No matter what kind of equipment you have, come on in. When it comes to the showers, there are no genders, apparently.
Actually, what religious liberty is that your right to believe that is protected, but the other person that identifies as something else is also is right to be protected. So I guess I'm here to say is, with Oshkosh Pride, we're paying attention. And we're going to be involved in this conversation if it keeps on going.
I think it's absolutely ridiculous that you
guys. This is a scary future. This is a scary future. But I hope you guys are ready for it. Because it's coming. It's coming real fast.
Why are y'all voting for Kamala Harris?
I don't want to lose my rights. Like, I'm a trans man and I'm gay and I have been pregnant and I've had an abortion before and I don't want to lose that.
Wait a second. Okay, hold on, guys. I'm lost. Did he say he's a trans man and they're gay and they've been pregnant but had an abortion? Hold on. I'm losing it, because if you're a trans man, that means you started off as a girl. Okay, hold on. You started off as a girl, then you converted to being a man, but then you're gay. So if you're gay as a trans man, do you like men or do you like women? I feel like it's like one of those games, like one of those like shell games, like where you got like 3 cups, right? And there's like a coin or a ball under one of the cups, and they like move the cup all around the 3 cups, and you got to remember which cup had the coin or the ball. I feel like I've completely lost the item that I was supposed to be keeping track of. Interesting here.
I'm afraid of not being able to be myself anymore because from what I've heard, Trump's America doesn't want me to look like this. So that's why I'm here today and that's why I'm voting blue.
But honestly, guys, I don't think Trump is trying to change these people from doing what they want to do. I think what Trump's agenda is, and, his policies and his ideologies are that, look, if you're going to do that, cool, but we're not going to be promoting and recruiting people to do that. We're not going to be going up in the public schools system and making it like a course or even an elective, studying this type of behavior, because at the end of the day, I mean, they're like recruiting. I feel like they're recruiting. And so this is what I've been seeing a lot from the Kamala Harris, Tim Walz camp. This is like 100% recruitment. They're trying to overwhelm the population with this new lifestyle. And again, if that's what you want to do, cool. But when you're recruiting people trying to, you know, when you want to take sixth graders, or excuse me, when you want to take 6-year-olds and start teaching them all this stuff, it's like, this is like opening Pandora's box. And this is a problem. And I feel like a lot of people are just, you know, in the super left, the radical left, they're just trying to eliminate church. They're trying to eliminate church. And there's so much that's related to this that is just an abomination to the principles of Christianity. And it's to a point where, you know, I feel like they're against Christians, and that's kind of scary. That's kind of scary. By the way, guys, if you haven't already, please take a second, hit the like button for the video. Really appreciate you guys. Get into the conversation here, guys. Let me know what you're thinking. Are you okay with this? Let me know if you're okay with this. Let me know how you would feel if your kid was dealing with these types of issues. How would you feel? Do you feel like your school system where you have your kids in, or maybe your grandkids or nieces, nephews, whatever, do you feel like the school system is a little bit overbearing? And do you think that it's more, I personally, I think it's less about their rights, because I think they have rights, but I think it's more than just the rights. I think that they're trying to promote this alternative lifestyle. And that's the thing I have a problem with.
The divide between urban and rural and Harris versus Trump couldn't have been clearer, like here at Crane Grain Farms in Kenosha County. Owner Michael Daniels says he'll vote solely on the economy.
Our expenses, the inflation, it's hard to stay in front of it. Now with the collapsing ag world, the poor trade deficit, we need to balance this stuff. We have to get back to where we were.
You supported Trump in 2016. In 2020, you would do it again.
Without a doubt. I say I'm fiscally conservative, but I tend to be a little liberal when it comes to humans. But it goes back to, we can't help everyone if we don't have a strong economy.
Like Pennsylvania and Michigan, Wisconsin is critical for Harris. 4 years ago, Biden carried Wisconsin by just under 21,000 votes, the closest margin of victory of the election. While our polls show support from black voters has swung 12 points in Harris's favor,
I'm leaning more towards Kamala.
Melody Davey has not bought in. Trump's rhetoric has clearly had an effect on her in an astonishing way. Have you decided who you want to vote for?
Honestly, no. I'm leaning towards Trump.
And why is that?
A lot of the stuff Kamala says is kind of like what Trump has said, like no taxes on tips was something that was kind of reiterated by Trump beforehand. She's just kind of been caught up in a lot of lies.
Like what?
I think lying about her heritage was one of them.
You think she lied about her heritage?
Yeah, I believe she's just Indian. I don't think she's black.
She is always identified as black. She is half Indian.
Well, I think that's something we can definitely agree to disagree on.
And there was no convincing her otherwise.
Kamala Harris is fake. She's a consummate politician. We've got to pay attention to her record as vice president.
I did a previous video where I show you how nervous these journalists become when confronted with the truth. This is must-see content because it really shows that even though they are aware of their own lies, they still just try to keep the lie going. So anyway, make sure you guys check that video out after this one. As always, appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for keeping yourselves informed. Thanks for hitting the like button, subscribing, and sharing this video. I'll see you on the next one.